Okay, we're going. Welcome back. We're in episode 3. This is Pam Saturnia and Thad Burkamper talking about the God thing, or God, or the universe, or the source, or whatever it is we're trying to figure out. So far, we've talked about just kind of defining what each of us kind of calls this thing, and how we interact with it, and how it shows up, and kind of a lot of anecdotal type stuff, which has been fantastic. This episode is probably going to get weird, and may just be an agree to disagree episode, which I'm fine with.
Yep, me
Even
too.
being a Burkamper and a Dindinger, I will let that one pass. But we're going to dig into, within this huge, unknowable source of energy and creation and motivation and drive and fulfillment, like all of this great stuff. We've had the conversation of how man interacts with that. And I think there are areas of study, even on the government level at this point, that point to man not being the only thing happening.
Right.
So if we dig into like UAPs and aliens and stuff, I'm curious, twofold. Where does the church line up on that? What's kind of the edict for how we respond to that? And then where does Pam line up on that?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot. There's just a lot. And if you wanted to just play UAP means unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Right.
Then yes, that is what we could stop at. It's just that it's unidentified.
Right.
But it seems like there are implications past that, that maybe we are being surrounded by beings that are outside of our known universe, or well, maybe inside the universe, outside of our gaze, or in, like, there's a conversation for the multiverse. There's a conversation for a lot of things.
Right.
Ready, go.
I have to say, I don't know a lot where the church stands on this.
Okay.
I want to say the Presbyterian Church. That's my most familiar institution. Presbyterians believe in science. So I'll start there.
Okay.
So if science is looking at those kind of phenomenons and finds that even if there's mystery, can't explain it, Presbyterians, I think, would be okay with that. I mean, we deal in mystery all the time, and we also look at God creating the whole universe, not just our little part of it.
Right.
So, and we know so little about that. Well, we know so little about Earth, let alone whatever else is out there.
Right.
So I imagine that the church would at least be in conversation with the science and the evidence, fact-based evidence, if you will, behind it. Me personally, I have to say I don't give it a lot of thought. I would kind of line up with the I don't know, right? I don't know what's out there, and I do trust science, so I would be willing to look at what the government has been doing, because I know they do. I mean, they are interested in what or who might be out there. It would not surprise me if there was other life outside of this planet, let alone, I mean, we only know one galaxy. Yeah. There could be others. Yeah. And so I don't know. And I'm okay with not knowing. Yeah. It's just not, so I'm not one of those folks that are so skeptical that there couldn't be life anywhere else. Right. I mean, we know some of the planets we know we couldn't live on, and we don't find life there, but we don't know everything about everything.
We also couldn't live on the bottom of the ocean, but there is life there.
Exactly.
So yes, I'm with you.
Yeah. So, Does it scare me that there could be? No. I mean, I think part of the whole, the science fiction genre of film and television and everything is that we should fear that there could be aliens and scary things. I don't know. I don't fear that either. I don't. I'm okay with that. I mean, it's unknown. Yeah. So yeah. So that would be.
And the words "I don't know" coming from someone that has chosen a position to lead is a fantastic. A fantastic way to lead by example. In not knowing does not equal fear. It doesn't equal shutting your brain off to it.
Right.
And whether or not it enters your brain at any given time is kind of irrelevant.
Right.
Because some people never think about Beethoven, but Beethoven exists in the world and other people are interacting with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for just not to be on your normal radar and normal rotation of thoughts is all great and wonderful. For it to have, it's whatever evidence we do have, I'm sure we're only aware of a very small portion of that because government's awesome. But even that stuff is fantastic. Like it's insane to think of what could possibly have happened evolutionarily on some other thing for a technology to show up that we literally can't wrap our brains around.
Right.
And I don't think we're idiots.
Right.
But we probably are.
Right.
If we're experiencing this other stuff,
and
it might as well be magic.
Yeah.
Then our science doesn't even touch it.
Right.
And that makes us scientifically idiots compared to whatever it might be that is utilizing this. I don't know is interesting. I don't know is a big one because I don't know and I don't care is an interesting mix too.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to get into a lot of details here.
Okay.
This is going to be very vague. But someone that Rachel and I know has recently, to a degree, come out in a way.
Okay.
And there are members of that bubble of people that we were not necessarily expecting to respond to that well.
Okay.
And one of them who, if you just consider like the half racist 90-year-old at the picnic, that everybody just kind of deals with, like, oh, they're just going to say some crazy stuff every now and then. She or he doesn't know any better, but they're too old to right the ship at this point. And they've done enough good in their lives that we're willing to kind of overlook this, whatever. So we had one of those in this bubble, and it wasn't I don't know and I don't care situation. It doesn't affect my thought process. It doesn't affect what I think of you or this other, whatever. I don't get it. But who am I to say anything for or against anything?
Right.
And we were all kind of blown back by it.
Right.
Like, holy crap.
Right. We did not expect that.
Right. We didn't expect that. We were legitimately afraid
for that person
of how this was going to roll out. And so the I don't know and I don't care doesn't seem like a statement of, shrug it off.
No.
It's I've kind of mentally dealt with what I can of this situation, and it is beyond me.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to be who you expect me to be.
Right.
Without, regardless, in spite of this information, I'm going to be who you expect me to be.
Right.
And you can do whatever you want to do. So I think that's interesting, especially, like I said, especially from someone of leadership to say something like that.
Right.
So when we talk about kind of along the same vein, and this may have the same answer, and this might be the shortest episode we've ever recorded. So the quantum computer, they put to a test of solving some problem, and I don't know how they have these numbers, but it was something like any normal computer would take 1 billion years with a B to figure out this problem. Okay. And I don't know how they could possibly have, but
know that, but
that's what they're saying.
Right.
The quantum computer took 5 minutes to do it.
Okay.
Also, something about the way the quantum computer computes is it leaves signatures as it goes.
Okay.
And so you can tell sort of where the answer came from.
Right.
Or where it was, whatever. And what it found when it went back, what the people that are studying this thing found when they went back through it, was that there were more than one signature.
Interesting.
And that this quantum computer may have been tapping into quantum computers that exist in other universes to suggest the possibility of a multiverse. And that it was like, oh, I can't do this. Help showed up.
Right.
Help was like, I'll sign here, I'll sign here, I'll sign here.
Right.
We have more than one signature. It got it done in 5 minutes. But maybe that's side thought. Maybe that's the only way quantum computing is better. Right. Is because if it has access to this other stuff, it's because they're working together.
Right.
Anyway, but so let's say that later today, scientists come, they say, hey, we gave it another problem, but this time we watched where the signatures were coming from, and we can see a signal or whatever that proves definitively that we're in a multiverse, that there is a Pam somewhere that is a paddleboarding fiend. Yeah. That's all she does. That's and she's in the Guinness World Record for spending the most time on a paddleboard. And there is a Thad somewhere that just builds monster trucks. Yeah. And he's the best at it. Yeah. Whatever. Right. If that type of information comes forward, what does Pam do with that?
Well, Pam considers it really seriously. I mean, I feel like I'm Bob Dole. I consider it.
What's that?
Bob Dole is a politician. Bob Dole, he's for himself as his name, not me. I think, I mean, I would be fascinated by that because that has so many implications.
Where does that interact with your faith?
That's a really good question. I mean, I think that, we talk often in church about how we are all uniquely created. And I do believe that. I mean, our DNA is different. Nobody's DNA is the same, except that our DNA together is like 99% the same, right? It's that 1% that makes us different.
Well, it's much more than 99%.
Right.
It's an insane sliver of uniqueness.
Right. So to say there's a whole another universe out there with me, another me in it, God help them. But other than that, I would want to know more. And I think my faith would tell me to be open to possibilities. That if I do not know everything about God. I don't think anybody knows everything about God.
I hope not.
And I don't know everything about the creation that God has made. And I do think, and there are scientists or people of faith who work on this stuff, and the science actually enriches their faith, right? Other people might find it disproves their faith, right?
It tends to go starkly in one direction,
or the other, right? Yeah. But I think, and when I say I don't care, it doesn't mean I don't care. It means that that's not something that I think about a lot. That's what I guess I want to say, because I do care. I mean, I care about what happens in our world and what happens with all those kinds of things. And if there is a layer of universes, if you will, I'm making it hierarchical and that shouldn't be, but whatever it is out there, that would be fascinating, because I would want to know personally, just like, what is that like? How do we get there? How do we,
or even communicate?
That's right.
Yes.
How do we even, communicate? Is there a way to be able to interact in a way that I want to say wouldn't disturb the universe? That sounds like time travel, right? You can go back in time, but you can't change anything,
you're wrong,
right?
To be cautious about it. I think there's some scientists who are just going to pull the trigger,
right? But
yes.
But I think, I think that would be worth knowing more about.
Mm-hmm.
I believe God created the universe. I have no idea how. I don't know. I don't think necessarily it was in 7 days. I don't think, right? I mean, that all those things. I love that.
For putting that on record.
Well, I love that story. It's really a hymn, right? It's a hymn to creation. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But I know so little about where I'm at, right? Let alone what's out there and what interests other people, and what other people are finding is part of our world and our universe. So
I think to some degree that goes back to the conversation we were having before recording about, unless you're actively a participant in whatever is raising you up or stressing you out,
right?
Unless you are actively taking steps, then there is the I don't care is the wrong words.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't know, and it doesn't affect who I'm going to be.
Right.
It doesn't affect how I'm going to live.
Right.
I think if we do get that information at 11:30 today, then we're still called to do the thing we're called to do.
Yeah, right.
We're still focused here.
Exactly right.
And maybe there are people called to do the thing of communication.
That's right.
Or to open that up.
That's exactly right.
But ultimately, we still have our jobs to do.
Yep.
And I don't mean jobs, financial security jobs. Yeah. I mean our cosmic, full from source jobs.
Right. Vocation.
Yeah. I think that's, I think what's possibly on the horizon is both astounding and also really scary when you think about how quickly do people stop considering a government when their thought process on how important our little blue ball in space is gets exploded into, you know what I mean? Like Neil Armstrong, and again, I'm going to kill this quote, but when he was taking view of Earth, he said, you very quickly forget about borders. And you very quickly forget about the importance of why there's a government in Arkansas. Who cares? What are we talking about? Is everybody fed? Is everybody, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think if our concept of borders, not only worldwide gets exploded, but universally gets exploded, I think there might be huge implications for the way that things are run. Or the way that people respond to the people trying to run things. Which might be terrifying. Might also be great.
I mean, that's part of it, right? I mean, yeah, exactly. And, I mean, I will admit that, I have some skepticism if people will tell me they've been abducted by aliens.
Ooh, okay.
I know we're just like moving. That's a good question. Because I want to be honest. I mean, I'm appearing like I'm really open, but I don't know. That's a good question because I think I would listen to them if somebody would. If you said to me, Pam, last week the weirdest thing happened. This would happen, and
we're not recording. I need you to talk to me. I swear. Yeah.
But I would listen to you, and I would listen to you genuinely. I also, in the back of my mind, would make sure that you're not having a breakdown, honestly. And I'm not making fun of this. I'm being, there's not some psychotic episode happening.
Well, it'd be the same conversation if I said, I think there are people following me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be the exact same thing.
It would be. It would be.
Are they here?
Right.
Like,
right. How do you know? Tell me more about that kind of thing. And that is to say, I'm not calling somebody who says that a liar. It's just hard for me. That's a hard sell for me. And I think it probably is based on experience, right? So my life and my professional life is based on not seeing something, right? It's all not about seeing and proving something.
Yep.
And here I am saying, well, prove it. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
And I guess it would depend on where I was hearing this information. If it was somebody that's on televisions that I didn't know, if it was somebody I really knew, I might be more inclined to want to take more steps into knowing a lot more about that.
Yeah.
So anyway, but in the interest of full disclosure,
I don't think skepticism is bad.
Yeah.
Or approaching something like that with a layer of caution and a layer of concern for the person because those are reasonable responses to that type of thing.
Well, and it's part of the world we live in too, and probably maybe always have lived in as human beings. But even today, I got an email from a dear friend asking me to do a favor of buying a gift card for someone and sending it to them by email.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now this sounds fishy. The first email didn't sound too fishy. The next one sounded fishy. So I contacted them. Yep, it's fishy.
Yeah.
So there's not always people who are being authentic or honest, know, in their dealings. But
well, and to your point, not necessarily being dishonest knowingly.
There's that too. Yes, that's right. If there is some kind of
something
thing
happening,
right,
mentally or chemically or whatever
going on, right?
Yeah, there is that consideration.
So but I don't know. I mean, I guess I want to say I hope I'm the kind of person who would at least be open to hearing their experience and not denying their experience to them. It might not be my experience, but if it's yours, I'm not going to tell you, no, you didn't have that experience. Right.
Right.
So, but it's just not, this is the not care. It's not something I've ever even thought a lot about. Maybe as a kid I did.
Or had the need to wrestle
with. Or had the need to wrestle with. Yeah. I mean, and that doesn't mean it's unimportant. It means I just haven't had that need.
Yes. Right.
It's, so yeah.
So this is somewhat similar, and I don't remember if we've talked about it or not. So what about ghost hunters?
Yeah, that's interesting. Ghost hunters are fascinating to me. Yeah, I don't know where I feel about ghosts because I've even said to myself, I think there's a ghost in my house.
Like legitimately.
Legitimately, yeah. No, not kidding. Because things have been moved or I hear noises and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not like other creatures in my house that I
and
know
sentences
about.
and whatnot.
Right. But and I have friends who have said the same thing who live in older houses that they say that. I don't know. I believe that part of our lives, a huge part of our lives is spiritual. I think that we don't tap into that part a lot. A lot of people don't. I think there are people that are, there's different layers of intuition, if you will. I'll call it that. I think it's, I think Rachel is incredibly intuitive, for lack of a better word. I think I talked about at one time the Celtic thought of the thin place where heaven and earth, I think there are times when it's not, there's no differentiation, right? It's all in the same place. So yeah, but I don't like ghost hunters, like Ghostbusters, not necessarily, but I know there's people that go and like in a house that say you cannot live in. That's right. Paranormal. Yeah, yes. Right. Exactly. In houses that people are finding it so difficult to live in, they either move out or they have somebody come in to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. One of the shows that I think you might like is the Dead Files.
Okay.
And they have a medium go in and they have an investigator. They don't talk to each other. And again, it's on TV.
Right.
So there is a level of
entertainment value.
But they have the medium go in and do a walk around for, I think, maybe a day or two. And then they have this investigator go talk to all the people that are having all the experiences. And then the investigator goes and tries to find out if their experiences could be grounded in deaths or murders or whatever that actually happened on the property.
Right.
Then they come together, and the amount of overlap is insane. If it's truly what it is, the amount of overlap is nuts.
Right.
But that whole thought process of ghosts, if we overlap the thought process of ghosts and the thought process of potentially being in a multiverse, maybe that's irrelevant. So what do we think ghosts are?
Right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I do know that there's times that, like, my father passed away 5 years ago, and there's times I can feel his presence with me in ways that, like, for instance, I don't right now.
Yeah.
I think that is not uncommon for people who have lost loved ones.
So time out.
Yeah.
I want to dig into that.
Yeah.
Because there is a what you're looking for, you'll find mentality.
Yeah.
That could answer that.
Yeah.
That
Definitely.
could just be, you had a moment with your dad that this particular place and time
just
deja vu you to.
Right.
And you call it your dad coming to visit you. And I'm not saying he's not.
Right.
But there is that part where you can kind of dismiss that your brain is just connecting things because that's what it does best.
Yep.
But you're saying, and I know exactly what you're saying.
Yes.
You're saying there are moments where you're just like, you could almost say, oh, hi.
Yeah.
Based on just the understanding of the feeling that you're getting.
Yeah. It's not just a memory, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's not, I mean, I don't think it's a ghost in the way that we think of the paranormal investigators. Yeah. Okay. But again, I think that's a crossing over from the thin place, right? Or in that thin place. Because I'm not summoning, I'm not going to a medium to ask to speak to, my father. I'm just going through my everyday life and then boom. Right. And maybe it is something triggers that. I don't know.
Sure.
But, I think a lot of people would say the same thing. And does that make, I think about how that relates to my faith and how we relate to death, which we don't relate too well in this country. I mean, I think we carry people with us. And I mean that as much as I carry God within me, I carry, for me, Jesus within me. Or the Holy Spirit. I mean, I do think that the people that have shaped my life, there's some sense of carrying them with me.
Well,
right?
That's that Maya Angelou thing I sent you.
Right.
Where she, every time she goes on stage, she has a team of people that she has brought with her.
Yep.
Some long dead and some still alive.
Yeah. And some people would think about as their ancestors, right? Their ancestors surrounding them. Which is very powerful to me to think about that kind of thing. But that's kind of off topic. But as far as paranormal activity, that's another, I don't know. If you told me that you experienced something, I would take you seriously.
Yeah.
But have I had a lot of experience with that? No, I've had some mildly tongue-in-cheek thinking that possibly
I know the keys were here.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah.
Or is it just my 60-year-old brain now? Right. Or is it? But so I don't know.
So we're just going to get weirder, I think.
Okay.
The church's idea of what happens after it's all said and done, lights out for a minute, and then heaven.
Yeah.
Okay. Tangent.
Yeah.
Or hell? Question mark.
I think hell is a human construct.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. I very much agree with that. I think if God is the source of all good, why is he going to let this little prick of a Satan do anything? Like that's squashed immediately.
Well, and it's not biblical. Hell isn't biblical, really. I mean, that's something we talk, there's different places, like you can go to Sheol, which is kind of purgatory, or they talk about purgatory, or sometimes, Jesus might talk about, outer darkness, but it's not, to me, hell is something that, I'm not a Christian because I don't want to go to hell. Put it that way.
Yeah. Not afterlife.
Or I'm not a believer in whatever, right? I think hellish, situations exist and places exist for people, and they're here. They're on earth, a lot of them. But I don't know that when we die, there's a choice of heaven or hell.
Right. There's an up and down elevator, and you're
that you're going on one of them,
or
that you're just going to ride the elevator for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure that's what it is. Carl Rahner, who's a Catholic theologian, talked about when we die, what happens to us is that we become part of God, whatever that is, right? so that our bodies, we believe they're kind of a shell of what our essential humanness is. And that part of us who is truly us goes and joins God. What that looks like, I don't know.
Okay, so that brought me straight back to where we were originally going, which I love very much. So we spoke either last time or the time before about this concept that this source, the God thing, wanted to experience, and so broke itself up.
Yeah.
And we are the source experiencing what life is.
Right.
And it gets just as much joy out of somebody learning to build a building as much as learning to get one step closer to their origin of being the thing.
Right.
So is there, and this might be a two-parter too, is there, all of that to say that there are thoughts in the world that our soul has a timeline, might be the wrong, but there's a series of lessons that the soul wants to learn, and one lifetime might not be enough to do it. And so if we mix all of what I just said together, that the source broke itself up to experience, and these little pieces haven't gotten the full experience, and if at the end we just go back into the source, what's to say that portion that hasn't gotten the full experience doesn't come back?
Right.
So where does Pam and where does church think reincarnation might sit? Yeah.
I think Pam and church probably are the same on that. Church would say, definitively no. I mean, that we have this one life, right? One ride. That doesn't mean that other cultures and other religions don't believe that, and they do, right? And I respect that. And personally, it's hard for me to wrap my mind around that thought. But I will also say that I don't know what happens after we die.
Why not?
I know. And
because you've never done it.
Right. And I don't know what heaven is like. And I don't know if there is a hell, I don't know about it as far as, but reincarnation is just, that's something I don't subscribe to.
Okay.
That doesn't mean, again, I'm not the kind of person, and even the kind of pastor, unless it was going to hurt somebody, that would try to talk somebody out of that belief, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
And
I think that might be rare.
Maybe. If somebody in the congregation felt that there was, definitely And there might well be.
You have members of your congregation that guaranteed think of ghosts.
Yeah.
Guaranteed think of the multiverse.
Oh yeah.
Guaranteed think of aliens.
I agree.
Time travel.
I agree.
And reincarnation is maybe not the weirdest part.
No, actually,
you could be thinking of.
That's right. Good point. So, I'm not, gosh, I know that I am still learning. I believe we all are. And I hope we all are. And I hope that will occur until the day that I no longer cease to exist in this form. Mm-hmm. And I could be wrong about a lot of things, and that's okay, because I'll learn them eventually, right? But I don't want to be the kind of pastor or person who shuts down a conversation. I would rather be the kind of person who is willing to engage in a conversation.
Just open doors.
Mm-hmm. Because, that's one, I think that's who I am as a person, but I also believe, I think that's who Jesus was. And I think, it's not anything goes, right? This is not an anything goes kind of thing. But
those thoughts aren't necessarily detrimental to who you are as a human.
No.
And who you are as part of the God thing.
No, I think that's all part of the way that I think if people are thinking about, fascinated by, wanting to know more about the kinds of things we've been talking about, I think it's all part of trying to figure out what it means to be human, what it means to live this life, and I think that's part of what we were created for. I don't think we were created for just to sit back and go through the motions. Right. I think we were given a brain to think and given bodies to experience and to feel and to, and in all that, and one portion of that is dealing maybe with the kind of things we've been talking about, the UAPs and the potential for life in other places, and reincarnation and ghosts or paranormal activity. But I think, that's a part of what it means to be human, is to ask those questions, or ask questions like that of everything.
Yeah.
Not just those things. So yeah. I'm not afraid to have those conversations, I guess, is what I want to say.
No, I think
or I wouldn't be
the
here.
fact that you agreed to do this.
Yes.
And I think I gave you some insight that we'd get
weird.
Yeah,
you did.
No, I think that's fantastic. I think the idea that we're here just to continue to not figure it out.
Right.
Try.
Right.
But not figure it out.
Right.
Is probably borderline adorable and also really satisfying to whatever it is that started this whole thing.
Yeah.
Here's a very off-topic question.
Okay.
Where is your dad buried?
Oh, he's buried in New Jersey.
And do you have family in New Jersey still, or was he the last of it?
Nope.
Okay, so you go to New Jersey.
Yeah.
Do you go to the gravesite?
That's a really interesting question. I've never been back since the day he was buried.
Is that to guard yourself in some way? Is that because there is no, personally,
right?
I think I've been to Grandpa's grave once.
Yeah.
And it was in an attempt on my side to see if there was some cosmic closure with doing that.
Right.
And there was very not. It was very a hole in the ground.
Right.
With a soulless body in it.
Right.
That means nothing to me.
Right.
So that's my side of things. Why haven't you?
The last time I went out to New Jersey was the spring, and I was thinking about that on the way, that I've not ever, and it is not far from where my mother lives at all. I could walk pretty much. No, my dad's not buried in her backyard, but it's very close. And I think I don't even have a need to. It's not an avoidance. Yeah. It's just, I don't even think about it. Yeah. I don't think about, I could just go walk over and say hi to Dad kind of thing. Partly because I feel like I can do that wherever. Right. Yes. And I'm not being disrespectful. I think cemeteries are really fascinating and good places. I think it tells the story even briefly, that there's a life lived, that people loved and loved them and cared about. And I think that's important. And I think for some people, it's important to go there. I get it. But I'm even surprised myself. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't feel compelled to go.
Well, I think I think that the site can be an amazing place of connection or closure, or just truly probably meditation.
Yeah.
Probably
definitely.
where you're just in the grass.
Yep.
And you have some physical thing to talk to.
That's right.
Where I've never pegged you as needing a physical thing to talk to. And I don't either. With, we'll be mushroom hunting, and I've got one of Grandpa's old canes that I use for mushroom hunting. Yeah. And I'll just be poking it around and be like, Grandpa, anytime would be great.
Yeah.
Like, just
help us out a little.
I'm already bad at this. Come on. And I mean it. It's joking and it's lighthearted, but that was Grandpa anyway.
Right.
But I mean it. Like, I know that if the stuff really hit the fan with me, that there's that connection that I can call to if needed.
Yeah.
And it does. Additionally, it doesn't have to be stuff hitting the fan.
Right.
It could be that I'm really bad at mushroom hunting.
Right.
And little help.
Right.
Little help.
Right.
Just a nudge in the right direction. And that has happened once, actually. I was mushroom hunting with Rachel. Rachel's much better at it than I am, which she reminds me of constantly. But I was walking through this little clearing where mushrooms shouldn't be anyway.
Right.
It was like mowed. And I was walking and I just stopped. And I looked straight down. Like, maybe it hit my subconscious. Like, maybe the information was there.
Right.
But it was just this motion to stop. Stop what you're doing. You're on it. And I looked straight down. It was a good little thing. And it was out of nowhere. And I kind of give credit to that to Grandpa. Where he's like, you've been asking.
Yeah, here
this
it
one
is.
was right in front of you, dude.
That's right. You almost missed it, as a matter of fact, right?
But I think that's interesting because this may or may not be correct, but I'm pretty sure Spratt's grandpa, Roger, donated his body to science. Grandpa was cremated.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I think Grandma was buried.
I think so.
My mom's going to get cremated. I'm going to get cremated. I don't know what Rachel's plan is.
Right.
But it doesn't matter.
No.
It's just meat and bone at that point. Like it.
Yep.
I think the site is a beautiful place. If it's a beautiful place for you, let it be a beautiful place. Do that until you die if you need to. But yeah, I've never found that. And I almost knew that was going to be your answer.
Yeah.
I thought maybe there was after the funeral, maybe there would be a one-off just because that's what we're supposed to do.
Right.
And then you'd be like, oh, this isn't it.
Yeah.
But never once.
Never once.
Yeah. Yeah. I personally think that's just because you get it. That it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It doesn't. I mean, it'll be interesting to see, because my mom will be buried there. I'm not wishing her dead by any means, but when there's not an attachment there, if I go, yeah, that'll be an interesting thing. And if I have a reason to go back there,
yeah, because
right now I do, to visit family. But right now I don't know.
I kind of fear that in myself, that there is, and I think, and Drew and I have actually recently gotten into verbal blows about this. I don't think either one of us is right, but there is a level of out of sight, out of mind that I think was ingrained in us just being independent kids. Yeah. Because mom was working her tail off, keeping us alive. Right. Good on her. Yep. And the three of us pretty much had to keep ourselves alive. After school, we'd do whatever we were doing. Yep. We'd come home, there'd be supper or whatever. But there is a compartmentalization. I don't keep friends from one job to the next. Yeah. And I've had a lot of jobs. I've been at this job for a while now, but I don't carry those people with me. And I don't, this sounds horrible. I don't care necessarily. I mean, I don't wish bad on any of them, but maybe some of them, but it's a disconnection. My house if you go up Weir, take a right on Mulberry, take a right on Bob White, you're at Drew's house. Right. It's like 2 miles away.
Right.
And I don't ever see him.
Yeah.
And it's out of sight, out of mind thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I was going with that. But I don't know. But I also know that if I were to call him right now and say, I really need you to answer.
Yeah.
He'll be there.
Right.
And same with Spratt and Brady and Jake. Like,
right.
There's a list of people. I don't know. The physical connection doesn't have to. Maybe it doesn't serve me, or maybe I've just built up walls to make it so that I don't have to rely on it. Maybe that's the difference. Maybe that's a protection thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. But it feels like the same. Oh, whether or not you ever go home.
Yeah.
After mom's gone.
Yeah.
How old's mom?
80. She'll be 86.
Honestly, anything after 75, I call a win.
I agree. No, I agree. I mean, I do too. I mean, I feel really fortunate that she's still alive and we have a good relationship. But yeah, I mean, I think we all know that how this ends.
Yep.
Right. For all of us, we just don't know the when.
Yep.
So yeah. Again, those are things I wonder, but I don't get hung up on it at this point because, yeah. Would I try to make sure like the graves were decorated at different holidays? Yeah.
Yeah.
I might not be the one doing it physically.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah. And just out of a respect for them and a love for them.
Well, and there's a moment that was not terribly unrecent for me where all the grandparents were gone. And I was like, oh, the next step.
Yeah.
Because Grandpa and Grandma Dindinger were a real serious part of who raised me. And so that hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Grandma and Grandpa Burkamper weren't so much, but it still hurt. I mean, obviously.
It does.
But I cannot imagine. I'm kind of scared of what kind of internal tailspin I'll go through when it's that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what annoys me, makes me feel really good. I don't know why this came up, but Rachel and I were talking maybe 2 months ago. And I think probably it was a conversation similar to this. And I said, what's frustrating? And I said frustrating at the time, but since then I've changed my mind, is my mom's good to go.
Yeah.
She does. She'll take what she can get, but she's good to go. She's done everything that she wants to do. If there's more time, she'll do some more stuff.
That's right.
But no part of her is clinging to that life raft. Like, please. She's one of the most Zen people I've ever met.
Your mom's great.
And is probably, she is great. Is probably the reason, is 100% the reason that I don't get worked up over a lot.
Right.
Because I can see the end of it as the beginning approaches.
Right.
I'd be like, oh, this is going to be rough. And then it'll be fine.
But it'll be okay. That's right.
And then
it's
it'll
not
be
permanent.
Just great.
That's right.
My mom's favorite 3 words when we were growing up was walking off.
Yeah.
And
your head's bleeding, walking off.
She would not have survived having girls.
No, probably not, actually.
She was meant to have boys.
That's great. Your mom is just, she is like a calm in a storm, I imagine. I mean, I've seen her in some chaotic circumstances. Yeah. And what a gift she gave you guys for that.
It's crazy. I mean, she and I had a podcast called Walk It Off. You're probably fine.
Right.
And I got the chance to interview Mom. And that was maybe the entire thought process for starting that podcast to begin with, was just to have a recorded 2-hour conversation with my mom. And that was one of the questions. Like, we've been through some things. How? How did you survive that? And I don't know that she even particularly articulated it well, but it was just that everything's going to be whatever it is. And once we know what it is, we'll move that in that way.
Right.
Once we know that the leg's getting taken off below the knee, we got to learn to walk a different way.
Right.
But it's fine.
Right.
You can do it. Anyway, that's all very off topic. Probably good for my soul, though. Reincarnation, aliens, multiverse.
Right.
I don't know. What else is there?
I'm sure there's a lot, but yeah, I don't know.
I think it's a very interesting hang up that you can't believe in abductions.
Yeah.
I think that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because we've talked, I've thrown some really kind of left field thoughts at you.
Yeah.
And you absorb them and pitch them back so quickly.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no way in hell is anybody getting taken.
No aliens coming for me. Right. I can tell you that.
If we take into consideration just the evolution of our planet.
Yeah.
I take turtles home every time I have the chance because they're adorable to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to watch them. What? Like if we're really considering, first off, I don't necessarily think that if abductions are happening, we are going to go back to this because this is going to drive me nuts. If abductions are happening, that there's anything malicious.
Yeah.
I think it's informational.
Yeah.
I think it's observational.
Okay.
Maybe clinical. But if we're considering that UAPs lead to there's something else, and this thing is both technologically and I would hope, maybe not spiritually, maybe spiritually advanced, but like just advanced as a being, where I doubt very much that there's war wherever they're coming from. You know what I mean? Like they've reached that level, where we can just see all the entities as all the entities, and your color or your geographic location or your whatever doesn't matter. We're all just trying to survive, and here's how we best do that. Like that math has been done, governments are done, right? Okay. So let's consider that. If that thing shows up here, we look like a bunch of baboons throwing crap at each other. And they're like, this is adorable. Right. Look at them.
That's right.
They won't say that one sound because the other ones are going to get mad at them. Yeah. Wait, they will say that one sound with this group. What differentiates these groups? And then just the observational, clinical potential for I think you're wrong, Pam.
It's okay.
I don't like it.
I'm okay with you thinking I'm wrong, and that's fine. And no,
I think it's a very interesting place, and I'm not saying right or I really am not saying right or wrong. I think it's a very interesting place for you to have had a pretty concrete
line in the sand. Yeah,
the idea that the source God thing just broke up into a bunch of pieces to experience, that's very interesting. I think we'll wrestle with that for a little bit. No, aliens, though they exist for sure, are not taking people. That's dumb. I think that's a really interesting of all the stuff that we've mostly agreed on.
That's right. I know that's the one I'm drawing the line. Yeah. But it's fascinating because to me that's exactly what church is like, and in that we're not talking necessarily about aliens, but we all have our things, right? That I'm not consistent on everything that I believe.
Yeah, right.
And even in my life, I'm not consistent on everything I do, right? There's things why do I water the plants in the back of the yard, but not my plants in the front of the yard, or what, which is, I know, very minor, but I don't know why. I've just the abduction thing. The other ones, I'm willing to have an open mind, and I'm willing to have an open mind, I guess, about that, but it just, I'm way more skeptical about that.
Ultimately, it's a non-issue.
Yeah.
Unless you yourself, the next time we record, be like, I got to tell you something.
So that's right. And if that happens, let me tell you.
Yeah, right.
This thing will go.
I know their names. I know they're coming back.
That's right. That's right.
They make great tea.
Yeah, that's right. But I think the idea, though, when you're talking about another group of beings having it all together and living peaceably. I mean, to me, that is the idea of heaven or paradise. That I feel like that my role here, while I'm here, is to help co-create that in some way. Now, granted, and that's what I believe all of our role is, right? That we're here to bring what, in churchy terms, the kingdom of God. In my terms, I would say to build the peaceable kingdom, Eve, a Garden of Eden. Sorry, not Eve, Garden of Eden again, right? And who knows what that really looked like, but yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Hope you can live with me.
No, I like it a lot.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that was our hour.
Okay.
Anything to close us off? You good? You happy?
I'm good. I mean, I want to say that all my expressions are my own thoughts, and they're thoughts. I mean, they're not.
Well, I think so we're all dealing with the stupid, useless meat puppet that we're dealing with.
Right.
Right. And that comes with pains and frustrations and stuff that are outside of the real manifestation of what we're here to do.
Right.
And if it was a perfect system, we would just be floating amorphous.
Right. But what fun would that be?
What's that? Exactly.
Honestly, what fun
if there's
would that
no
be?
Obstacle, the story sucks.
Right.
If Homer just makes it home.
Yeah. Right. That's right.
Like he got on a ship and then he was
just went home. Okay.
He pet his dog.
That's right.
And didn't walk past him. And then he was home and everything was fine.
Terrible story.
It's just a crap story if there's no obstacles.
Yep. That's right.
I'm with you.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's kill it there then.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.